I'm Heidi Zorn, president of Premier Equestrian. We're here in Wellington, Florida with top show jump rider Todd Minikus. We're going to set his new jump course, walk the course with Todd, and then he's going to ride it for us.
I like this wall, and I'll use that quite a bit as a first jump. Whether I'm teaching a young lady or a young man or teaching young horses, it's imposing enough that they could hesitate or really stare and study at it, and they need to learn to allow you to press them right up to it. Or teaching a young rider, they need to be able to feel that horse maybe hold itself off it, and how do they put their leg on or continue the ride up to the jump. And so that's a good jump to use as a first jump and get somebody, you know, in the game, if you will, to riding forward and putting their leg on the horse. And first thing that happens when people get nervous is they don't squeeze with their legs, so you'll be able to tell if somebody's intimidated by that or not.
Yeah.
The culvert wall, it's been around for years. It's a good looking jump. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about earlier, that this mare, she did take a peek at that first jump. You had to ride it a little strong.
When you're jumping a Grand Prix course, and you know the course designer set things all sorts of tricky ways, I mean, they try to do the same thing to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, do you like it better to have, you know, the jump that's going to fall over the easiest or all the scariest or whatever, the first jump, or do they try to do that last to set?
No, and it depends on the course designer's theme and their. They each have their style and whatnot. Some use, you know, an intimidating first, second, third jump. Some use the combination, and sometimes they change it up. And it depends a lot of what the materials they have to work with that the show provides them with, and those kind of things. So,
so great jump for schooling young guys.
You got to have your no stones unturned. Be prepared. So this is a good jump for, you know, that course designer that's starting things off a little tricky at the beginning, or, you know, you can make it so it's difficult at the end of the course, a tight roll back to it. And anytime the culvert wall it's been around for years, it's a good looking jump, and you got to use it to your advantage. You know, you can jump this combination and tight roll back on it, and that really, you know, kind of could set up a young horse and whatnot. So.
Great.
We'll put this right about here. This is a particularly nice Liverpool. It's more the color they're using at the shows today. One thing that I think is nice is it's a little shorter than some of the Liverpools I've had, so it looks like it's a little more in-ground and a little flatter. Some of the Liverpools I've had before, the edges were deep and tall, and that's not what they're using at the shows today. And this is made out of some nice vinyl, and it really looks like it's going to hold up well to the use in the ring. What's nice also on these standards is with the measurements, when I say, oh, put it at about 3'9", sometimes that's guesswork.
Yeah.
And
having
with the numbers on there, that's excellent. And good news, bad news is when people come to look at horses, you tell them they jump 5 foot. Sometimes it's only this big. Now, no kidding them. It's right on the standard. A little strong to Liverpool. Good. I have it set up with a little warm-up jump here on the end. You know, for schooling purposes and whatnot, you can come inside to make the Liverpool ride extra big and to practice the tight turns.
The polyethylene.
Yeah.
The color's molded.
Yeah, right onto it, and that's
it's molded into it. So, you know, over time you might scratch the plastic or whatever, but it's not
yeah,
chip and peel.
It's a great rail with the weight is just right. The skinny or narrow jump is a well-used jump by course designers, and it is definitely one of the harder jumps to jump. A lot of horses struggle with it. And claustrophobics or the visual of it being narrow and whatnot, and they do have a tendency to rub it. This is particularly pretty with the, I'm a patriotic kind of guy, so this is a good looking jump. Oh, Oftentimes you don't have the ground rail. One of the things about teaching young horses is I think you have to teach them to do it right before you quiz them. Got to let them read the chapter before you give them the exam. And a lot of people do it differently than that, and it's nice that this comes with the short ground rails that set up the jump, because you can roll it out to help the young horse, show the young horse how to jump it properly before you roll it in or take it out. A lot of people think it's appropriate to come down here and let the young horse hit it to train them, and I think you got to show them how to jump it to the best of their technique and show them how to jump it properly before you quiz them with rolling that in and give them the sucker punch, where maybe they hit it. Get their technique right, their technique right, and then and then maybe roll it in and let them get here and override it and get close and deep to it with a little pace or something, and let them maybe feel the weight of those rails or whatever the case may be. But it's nice that it comes with these rails that you can show them how to jump it right, and it's a good looking jump. This is a great jump with the roll top here, and it's a big ground rail, and I've used it today where I've instead of making the roll top the width of the total jump, I have it on the back side so we can jump it both directions. I think it's important, again, to teach the horses or remind the horses, those that already know what they're doing, about their technique. The landing is the most important part, and by putting this out here, you get the horses to unfold and land with a good bascule and to pour on the back side of the jump, because that's the most important part of the jump, I think, is the landing and the getaway, because that's how you're going to get to the next jump. You want them to use all of their athleticism to get here and pour and use their back and get their hip up and get away from the jump. Whether it's a hunter, he needs to land in good balance for the gallop down to the next part of the line or whatever, or the jumper needs to land and be in good balance and organized for the getaway for the jump off. People have variations of walking. I go 3, 6, 9, 12, and that's the landing and the takeoff, and then just count after that. 3, 6, 9, 12, and hopefully, and people should practice walking the course that they take a 3-foot step. Because one stride should be 4 steps or 12 feet, and you got to practice taking the right. You see some people walking, they give this big exaggerated stride, and get comfortable with just walking and a nice even stride, so you're accurate about your course walk. And then 3, 6, 9, 1, 3, 6, 9, 2, 3, 6, 9, 3, 3, 6, 9, 4, 3, 6, 9, 5, 3, 6, 9, 6. So good for the 6 strides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful jump there. That was excellent. A little steady to this wall. Nice. I think this is really an elegant looking jump, and for sure you can use it for training both hunters and jumpers.
Well, this pole has wood on the inside, and then it's encased with
that's awesome, with the polyethylene and the caps on the end here so no moisture gets in there.
It's a little heavier pole, which as a jumper rider, I'm guessing you like a little heavier.
Yeah, the weight of the pole really is not a big factor to me, other than you do need it to be safe, and sometimes I get concerned with too heavy of a pole. The horses hit it, and you have a nice, what I think is a proper jump cup.
Yeah.
You want it to give.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want it to hold them.
Yeah.
So it's a
nice weight.
Nice weight. Perfect weight, actually.
The important thing for a jump pole, any jump pole, is that it drops.
Yeah.
You do not want it to get
kicked out. Not to get kicked out. That's hugely important. When we set this up, we made note, because basically I'm picking up the whole wall here with one arm, and boy, at night when everybody leaves and I'm out here dragging my ring, and when we've jumped this enough and I need to move it to drag it, it sure is nice that I can jump off the tractor and just swing it out here. It does work nice that the wall's connected, and easily enough you can separate it just by lifting it here, and you can make it narrower or whatever. If we wanted to make an oxer out of this, we could take this and just slide this out and you know, set this on this side of the oxer and that on the other side with another set of standards here. And you know, for the equitation training and whatnot, we could make a narrow in and out using these out of that.
Do they have narrows?
Oh, absolutely.
Narrow in and outs.
Yeah,
At
for
6 feet.
yeah, it's a handy tool and easy enough to put back together and quite good. Then it just set right back in there. Perfect. Here in Florida, where I spend half the year training and whatnot, the water and the sun is the huge issue. This rail has, you know, it's been out here just one season, so we're excited about these new rails and stuff that we got from you, and this stuff can all go to the trash pile. Yeah. And that's just a nice wood rail that I spent a lot of money on, and it just one season.
What's nice about these poles is they're as heavy as 3.5-inch wood. The difference between this and water pipe is that it has 100% UV material and it has a flex polymer in it.
Right.
These are guaranteed for life to not break.
Yeah, literally we've tried to take this material and destroy it, and we weren't able to.
Yeah.
Running over with the truck and everything else. So
yeah.
These have been sitting out here in the ring with the sprinklers going off, and the sand gets wet and heavy and sticks to them. But the beauty of it is with a dry towel, you can just run down the rail and it just cleans up perfectly. There's no way that's happening with the wood rails or rails that are painted. There's never any repainting of these. They're able to take the weather conditions, and it's easy enough with the dry towel just to give them a wipe off and literally like new. I have this set up to be a little tricky with no ground rail, really. We have the flowers and stuff there to get the horse to maybe look down and not pay attention to the top rail, but it's easy enough just to take these flower boxes and move them out and to give a little bit. But I like it like this for school and today. It's actually nice to put a rail below the gate. The beauty of these flower boxes is they're light. They hold the flowers well. So many times, you know, you have the flower boxes made out of plywood and whatnot, and they are nice that once the horse is jumping up, they are going to kick sand on them, and these will wipe off nice and stay looking clean and spiffy. And if, you know, driving a tractor around here, if I did ding them a little with the bucket or the drag, they're not going to get torn apart. The biggest thing is with a lot of wood stuff is, and it happens for decades, where eventually they start to rot. The nails then come out, fall out easy, or you hit them with the tractor, or a horse steps on them, and then the nail is now in your footing.
Right.
The safety aspect of these is remarkable. And you can use these for a lot of things. You can take these and use these for cavalettis if you want a little taller cavaletti to trot over and stuff. And when the horse, if he does step on it, it's got a nice smooth edge. It's not going to tear up their sesamoids, and just awesome product.